From Cheater's surveillance cameras, you are about to view actual true stories filmed live, documenting the pain of a spouse or lover caused by infidelity. This program is both dedicated to the faithful and presented to the false-hearted to encourage their renewal of temperance and virtue. Coming up on this episode of Cheaters.
Sick to my stomach.
Is that him in the tan shirt right there?
Really? Really? Basketball?
That's his girlfriend of a few years.
You told me you were single. All that ain't necessary.
Liar.
Reality television is brought to you by Cheaters Detective Agency's Private Eyes on Cheaters.
Brandi Shaw is concerned that the father of her 1-year-old spends too much time shooting hoops with his homies. Skeptical of his excuses, Brandi puts her foot down by calling our professionals to ferret out the truth. I'm Clark Gable, and this is Cheaters.
He was very standoffish when I was pregnant. He was never really around much. It seemed as if he doesn't think CJ's his baby. I don't know where his head's at.
Joey, age 24. A substitute teacher suspected of tutoring another woman in love lessons. While staking out the home the suspect shares with his mother, Cheaters investigators spot the suspect as he steps out of the home carrying an extra set of clothes. He puts the bag and clothing into his car and drives off. A mobile unit tails him to a nearby park. Joey gets out and heads to the basketball court. He spends a short amount of time shooting hoops by himself. Less than an hour later, the suspect finishes his rather light workout. He gets back into his vehicle, and the mobile unit goes back to work, tailing him. He arrives at an unknown apartment complex. Joey gets out, taking the change of clothing with him, and heads up the stairs to an unknown apartment.
He has another baby with another woman, and I accepted that fact, and we're still together. So that was a big deal. That's a very big deal. So I'm still skeptical about that. And I don't know if he's messing with her still. I don't know what's going on. When I try to call him to spend time with us, it's usually he always has a tutoring class or he's going out with the boys. Like I said, it's always with the boys. It's always with the boys.
Approximately an hour later, after having changed clothes, the suspect emerges, holding the hand of an unknown female. They get into his car and drive to a nearby Mexican restaurant. Joey and his lunch date grab a table on the patio. They converse as they eat. Shortly after finishing their meal, Joey whips his hat around, apparently keeping the bill from getting into his way, and kisses his date. She responds passionately, wrapping her arms around his neck as they make out.
He tells me he loves me, that his loyalty's with me, is always gonna be with me, even though, he has another child. But his actions don't show that. And I just think it just hurts just knowing that somebody that I've been with, for so long and so much history with, could doubt me or doubt his son or just doubt us, period.
Sometime later, the suspect drives his companion back to her apartment. Joey escorts her upstairs. A few hours later, the suspect leaves the woman's apartment. He hops into his vehicle and drives back to his mother's home, ending this day of surveillance.
I love him. I love him with all my heart. That's the father of my child, but I can't continue to be the back burner to somebody or my son. I feel I'm at the bottom of the barrel. Definitely. I feel 6 feet under. I feel alone. I feel by myself. And I'm tired of feeling like this. I'm tired of it. It hurts. I can't sleep at night. I cry. My son's always looking at me. Children feed off your emotions. And he's not ever happy. He don't seem happy because his dad's not around. It hurts.
Investigation Day 5. As befits his MO, the suspect comes out of the house, ball in hand, ready to head courtside. He pops into his car and is followed to the nearby basketball courts. At some point during his lone workout, he receives a phone call. He stays on the phone a while, then takes off. Followed by the mobile unit, Joey drives directly to the apartment complex seen in previous surveillance. The suspect heads up the stairs to his companion's home. Sometime later, they come out and drive off, heading for a restaurant. As they get out of the car, the woman, now identified only as Tiara, wraps her arm around Joey in a familiar fashion. The suspect escorts her to the order window, where he fondly touches her backside. The doting duo discover an outside table to eat their meal. After satisfying their appetite, they return to Tiara's residence. She stays for a few minutes by the driver's side, saying her goodbyes with passionate kissing. Finally breaking loose, the companion makes her way to her apartment, while the suspect returns home. Investigation Day 7. Roughly an hour after sundown, the suspect is spotted exiting the house, heading to his car. True to form, he travels across town to his companion's apartment complex. Joey gets out, goes upstairs, and is greeted by Tiara with a hug and a kiss. Several hours later, both the suspect and his lady friend exit the building. At the lip of the stairs, they hug each other goodbye. The suspect gives her a lingering kiss before heading down to his car. With confirmation of the suspect's transgressions, Cheaters preps a package for Brandi's perusal. Coming up, the confrontation.
Armed with proof of the suspect's double dealings, Cheaters contacts Brandi to reveal the evidence. Dismayed by the possibilities, Brandi stands firm in her conviction to know the truth.
Brandi, first thing I want to say thank you for coming out today. I know you took time off work. Well, we've conducted our investigation and come up with some very interesting findings. Are you prepared to see that? All right. On this day of investigation, our detectives are outside. We see him at a park, basketball in his hand, starts shooting some hoops. Sometime later, walks back to his vehicle and leaves. He then arrives at this unknown apartment complex, gets out of his vehicle with clothing. Sometime later, he emerges with this female. They get into his vehicle. They arrive at this restaurant. Our detectives then catch an internal shot of them sitting together, finishing some lunch. A few moments later, they walk back out, get into Joey's vehicle, and return to that same female's residence. We see them walking inside, hand in hand. A few hours later, he emerges and leaves. On this day of investigation, we are outside of his mother's house. Joey leaves, arrives at that same park, gets out of his vehicle, starts to shoot some hoops, and that's when we were able to record this phone call.
I'm not trying to bug you, but I don't know, I just feel like I went by your mom's house again. I just feel like, something's, not right or whatever.
Yeah, I just been busy. I had my son today. She's been keeping me busy. We went to the park earlier and stuff, so.
Okay, baby.
You know what I'm saying? I've never steered you wrong before. I'm not to leave the court now, but some of the guys up here talking about going and grabbing something to eat.
All right, well, call me when you get home. Make sure you call me when you get home. I love you, okay?
All right, love you too.
Brandi, obviously he's not playing basketball with his boys at the park, and he's not with your son.
Right.
So, after leaving the park, he really arrives at that same female's residence. A few moments pass, and he comes out with that same woman. They arrive at a restaurant. That's when we see Joey putting his hand on her lower posterior. They then sit together, finish their meal. Sometime later, they return to the companion's residence. She leans in for a kiss. Joey shuts his car door, and she walks inside for the evening. Now listen, this is what I want to do. Let's get in the vans. I'll call the lead detective on the case and give us the location of where they're at, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, please do.
All
Let's
right,
go.
right this way. Hey, Gomez, what's going on, man? All right, copy that. All right, thanks a lot, Gomez. I'll see you in a second. Bye. He went and picked her up. He's not in any form of basketball clothes. He's actually dressed. And they've been inside of this restaurant eating lunch together for, I'd say, 15 or 20 minutes. Is that him in the tan shirt right there?
Yes.
Everybody out, everybody out. Everybody out.
Go, 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 go.
Really? 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 Basketball?
Do you know that's his girlfriend?
What's going on? Hold on. Yeah, we've been talking for a couple of months now. We met online. He told me he was single.
He's not single.
Oh, he's not single. So who is that?
That's his girlfriend of a
baby's
few
mama?
years, and
years?
he does have a child with her. Yes.
He has a child with her.
Yes.
You've been lying.
Show me some proof right
You're supposed to
now.
be playing basketball right now.
Okay.
Is this basketball?
I wanted to meet up with
And
my
who is
homegirl.
this?
I ain't
And
seen
who
my
is this?
homegirl since college.
Who is
No.
this?
This ain't got nothing to do with her. This ain't got nothing to do with her. This ain't got nothing to do with her.
Who is this?
This is my girl. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, you told me you ain't had no girl. And they're saying
Well,
you got
we going
kids,
through hard
you got a
times.
baby?
We going through hard times.
You have a baby?
No, I ain't got no baby.
You have a baby?
I got a baby,
Oh,
but
you
not
have-
with her.
Oh, really?
But
Yeah.
you told me you
Okay.
didn't even have any kids.
Okay.
I told you I had a baby. I told you I had a boy.
You told me you were single and you didn't have no kids, and then
Man,
then
see, no, get all these cameras out my
You know
face.
what?
Get all these cameras out my face.
You're a liar.
Coming up next, the conclusion.
Is that him in the tan shirt
Yes.
right there?
Really? Really? Basketball?
That's his girlfriend of a
baby's
few
mama.
years.
You told me you were single and you didn't have no kids.
This is an old college friend. And
We've been kicking
chop it up. I ain't seen her.
But he been lying to me about it, though. He been
So you
lying
guys
to
are
me
old
about it.
college
So
friends.
who are you? Who are you?
So,
Who are
old
you?
college friends,
be his
they go out to dinner
girlfriend.
together.
Oh,
I saw that.
really?
Yes.
You guys,
Oh, really?
you know,
Hey, this ain't got nothing to do with her.
let me talk to you over here. Come here. Come here. So let me get this. Let me get this. Let me get this straight really quick. So this is just a friend from college, correct?
Yes, this is a friend from college.
Okay, so
We recently reconnected on Facebook.
you recently reconnected on Facebook.
Yes.
And you took your friend from college out to lunch, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I have you
Just to catch up on
just to catch up on conversation. Remember this phone call?
I'm not trying to bug you, but I don't know, I just feel like
Now say I'm lying.
Yeah, I
Say
remember
you're
that
not
phone call.
cheating.
So when
I remember that phone call.
Wait, let's listen really carefully here.
All right, really?
But I mean, at the same time, my heart is torn. You know.
Yeah, go. Yeah, go. Go.
You know what I'm saying?
Go.
You starting all this trip,
Man, no, because you're a liar.
driving by my mama's house and all that. That's not necessary.
All you had to do was be
That's
honest.
not necessary. That,
All you
that
had to do
pushes
was
me
be
away.
honest.
That pushes me away.
Oh, you're
okay?
pushed
Do you
away.
love this woman?
Yes, I love her.
So why would you tell her that you're gonna go have lunch with your dinner with your boys when you leave and
Because
go
she
pick
wasn't
up
gonna
this woman?
accept that.
So you going with her or you taking me home?
No, I'm
You going with her,
taking
you
you
taking me
home. I'm
home?
taking you
All
home.
right, well, you need to get to the
So
car.
you're taking this woman home, but you love this woman and have a child with her.
Yes, I love
Go ahead.
her.
Go,
but
go take the girl home. Go take the girl home.
look, I ain't got time for this. I ain't got time for this. I ain't got time for this. Come on.
Oh my God.
Think about it. You take this girl out, you don't tell her anything. You have random dinners.
Because if I tell her I want to catch up with an old friend, how do you think that's gonna go?
And I didn't know he had a girlfriend or a child.
So that doesn't seem strange to you?
That is strange to me. That's why me and him need to talk, but not in front of all these
But
cameras.
at the same time, we just catching up. You know, I'm gonna let you know that
But we've
eventually.
been kicking it. I told you I missed my period last month. So, you know, I mean, all of this, I mean, you already got a child and you got a girl.
So
I
wait.
mean, so what's
Well, everything out in the open now. You know what I'm saying? She
You have a son with that woman.
She hasn't trusted me in a while. There's no loyalty. There's no trust there. This relationship is over. You know what I'm saying?
It's because you don't communicate with her, Joey.
No. We're gone.
You're not going nowhere. 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 You're not going nowhere.
You don't even have to do
You
all
don't-
that,
no.
sweetie.
You ain't going
gotta do all
nowhere.
that.
Get out
You
his
ain't gotta
car.
do all of that.
Get out his
no,
car.
he's taking me home.
Get out his car.
He's taking me
Girl, go
home.
catch the bus.
He's taking me home.
Go catch
This
the
ain't got nothing to
bus.
do with her.
He's taking me
Look,
home.
look. This ain't got nothing to do with her.
He's taking me
Back
home.
up. You
He
tripping
drove
right
me
now.
here. He's taking me
You
home.
brought all this
He's
security
taking
out
me
here.
home.
You know how I feel about that. You know how I feel about cameras and all that.
You go do your thing.
So she's a college roommate friend, correct? Is that correct?
What's that?
She's a friend from college,
Yeah,
correct?
she's a friend from college.
So didn't you say that you met him online?
Yeah.
So who?
Nothing but lies.
No. She didn't
Nothing
meet
but
me
lies.
online. We
I mean, we
reconnected
reconnected.
online.
Nothing but lies.
Oh, so you
He
met.
told me he was single.
And I
He
was
told me he
single
was
at the
single.
time.
Okay, so your college friends.
We've been off and on for years, you know. So
And if they're supposed to have a
single,
child,
I'm
that's the
single.
only problem I got with you. You could have told me you were with her, y'all had a child together, whatever.
And you could have told me in the beginning that you really did have intercourse with her, because I already know. But you decided to lie, and then lie again and lie again.
I don't know. I had
And that's
intercourse
what's wrong. You was
She just
you was in
admitted
the
it, man.
Exactly.
And she missed her period.
How you know that's not a lie?
And I seen the
Why would
footage.
she lie?
Who's lying?
The videos don't. The cell phone calls don't.
I'm not lying.
You lying,
You
sweetie?
can't say
Are you
I'm
lying,
lying.
sweetie?
So I'm
Whatever
lying.
your name
I'm
is.
lying. She just saw the tape.
Yeah,
so I'm
we had
lying.
intercourse.
So
we
I'm
had
lying.
intercourse. Yeah,
Really?
you right. You
There you
right.
go.
We had
Okay,
intercourse.
exactly. Thank
Okay,
you. Thank
okay.
you.
All right.
Thank you. So
We've
you
been
need to
off and
talk
on,
to your
and you
man,
ain't trusted
because
me
he
for
the lying.
years.
He the one lying to you.
You know what I'm
He
saying?
the one
If
lying
there ain't
to
no
you.
trust, and ain't no
He the one lying
relationship.
to
We
you.
don't need to raise no kid if you can't trust me.
But Joey, why would you even get it to this point? Why wouldn't you just tell the truth in the first place? None of us would even be here.
First time. I'm not gonna tell him.
Hey, man,
Hey, you better not
that's
push me. You better
Touch
back
me.
up.
Touch
Come
me
on.
then.
Come on,
Touch
back
me.
up, back up, back up,
Touch me.
back up.
Ain't necessary.
Liar.
No, let's go, man. Let's go, man.
Go. Bye.
Let's go.
Let her take her little cameras and go do what she needs to do, because clearly
Joey,
she got what she needs.
one thing that should resonate in your mind is the truth will set you free, and until you do that, man, you're gonna be trapped in these types of situations.
Where everybody, because people take advantage of you. I learned that at a young age. You feel me? We out of here.
Too good for that boy. Shoot.
Convinced of her boyfriend's puerile and callous behavior, Brandi takes some time to reassess her position. Stay tuned as we reveal how she proceeds. But first, Jeremy Huntley, the night manager in the Mallory case, comes to explain his side of the story about the time he was caught with another woman on Cheaters.
We were just enjoying a drink. It was a nice afternoon downtown, and next thing I know, just the whole crew of cameras just pops out of nowhere. It was probably the most shocking thing in my life. After the initial shock was over, it just kind of registered, and I was like, oh, this crazy girl. I knew something like this would happen eventually.
What's up? What the doing,
What is
bro?
this all about?
Why are you with her? This is my best friend. What the are you
kidding me right
Seriously?
now?
For real.
Hold on, sit lip. What the hell is this all about right now?
What the are you doing?
Why are you here?
Why are you here? Seriously, what the are you doing? And bitch, get the away. You're supposed to be my best damn friend.
You've been following me all the way here.
It wasn't only me.
Oh my God, this is bullshit right now.
It is bull. What are you
Get the
doing?
hell out of here, I'm leaving. The next day after the confrontation, I ended up moving out of the apartment. She actually had some of my stuff waiting for me at the door, and then other stuff, like my TV and things that she was a part of when we purchased, that she wasn't just gonna part with. So there was a lot of drama.
Why you gotta walk away like a pussy? Huh?
Get the out of here, all right? That's enough. Stupid.
It was enough for you to
Deal
did
with
what
it
you
later.
did. You
This
should
is
have.
stupid.
Bitch, don't touch me.
Hey.
Don't.
Hey. Excuse me. Come on.
Yes, sir. We'll be out of here. We'll be out of here.
No, you be out of here now, okay?
So Jeremy, you have nothing to say to your girlfriend?
You have nothing to say to me.
Nothing to say?
Huh?
What is there to say?
Sorry,
What is there
maybe?
to say to you?
Why the wouldn't you talk to me before and say you said my best friend, huh?
Well, Jen and I are basically stronger than we ever been. We moved in together to a one-bedroom apartment. Every day we try to spend a little bit more time together and just talk. And that's something I hadn't had for a long time. I mean, probably, 3 or 4 years of just, in and out, just missing each other, not telling each other about our days. And, that's something that I've got now, and that's something that I've always wanted in a relationship, and I think that every guy does.
After all that's occurred, Brandi Shaw is no longer with the suspect. After reevaluating the situation, she feels justified in asking for child support, albeit from a man who acts like a child himself. The suspect continues to claim that Brandi's child is not his. He is no longer seeing Brandi, nor the companion. The companion, Tiara, embarrassed by the events of the night, claims, "I don't know what he was thinking about. Not telling me he had a child, not telling me he had a girlfriend." She's no longer seeing the suspect and wants nothing more to do with him.
If you don't get your programming from Goldstein's, why, we'll both lose money.